Yeah,
What's up with it?
Benji with his dance as usual. I don't know what to call that. Is it a two-step or the Frankenstein? I'm
Just,
not. I'm not sure.
just the old man two step. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no twerking, none of that for you. No, we
Okay.
don't
You
we don't shake
you
our
de-
ass like that around
you
my
definitely
parts.
shouldn't be twerking. That that is not the
No,
move. Not the
no,
move.
just a little. You know what I'm saying? A little chill groove. You know, maybe Obama style, maybe your grandpa. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all I
Right.
got for you. I ain't got nothing else. So if you see me doing anything else at a function, somebody slipped something in my drink because I don't do all of that. All right, I want you to know.
All right. Well, welcome to the fire session, y'all. Y'all, we got a dope episode today. We're bringing y'all some information. As you can see, we got some special guests with us today, and we're
Yeah,
missing one part of our trio.
you
Miss
missing
Patricia,
forehead tonight, but it's
Miss
all right.
Miss Trisha Michelle is not able to join us tonight. She has some prior engagements that she had to take care of, but we're wishing her the best of luck, and we will welcome her back when she returns on the next episode.
Forehead. We miss you tonight, but it's all right. Go on and bless, make the money. Do what you got to do.
All right, so y'all already know how we do it. We get ready to get started here, and we're gonna introduce you to our guest. We got Miss Brittney, Realtor Britt, as she says on her screen,
What's up with it?
Hey,
Realtor
y'all.
Britt,
Hey.
and we got B. We got Brandon Stewart.
What's
Hold
happening?
on, guys. What's happening? What's happening? Be the real estate G. But yeah,
Be
Yes,
the
sir.
real estate G. Okay, yeah,
Hey, G.
we're gonna get to know them and get to know their IG handles and all the social media things so you can follow them and get this information for yourself. But before we do that, we gotta check on our people to make sure we good. So relative Brittany, how you doing today? How's your week started off so far?
I'm doing good. Week has been productive. This week has been productive. So can't complain. I'm doing good. All is well.
Dope,
For sure.
dope. All right, B, talk to us, man. Let us know how you doing, man.
man, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, man. Putting out fires the last couple of days. I'm sure Brittany understands that. You know what I'm saying? Making sure deals don't fall through.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing.
For sure.
Dope. See, we got people in the audience cutting up already. Our boy Jody Skywalker says she fine. I'm trying to get her out. See, we got people cutting up already. This show ain't even started good, and we got people
Day
cutting up.
too. I'm like, I should have freshened up, but
We got people
I mean, listen,
cutting up already.
just FYI, you gotta pull up on the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
I
saying. You know,
know. I just came from my daughter's basketball practice, which was outside. That's why
it's
I
all
was
right.
running.
Getting hit on, and you ain't even got your layers on.
But see, yeah, that's a good
It's-
thing. That's
That
a
is a
good
good
It's a
thing.
thing.
good
That
That
thing.
says a lot. Yeah, yeah.
Full
It,
time,
it happens.
all of those things, right?
Yep,
So
that's a good
Don't
thing.
worry about it. We get hit on. I get hit on in the comments a lot. You know what I'm saying? Some of them crazy, some of them special. But we love them all. So
that part.
Hmm.
Someone crazy.
Even the tall ones, huh?
yeah,
Crazy
man.
ones.
Listen, I don't want to relive getting hit on by a stud, but we'll say that we already had that
You
episode.
this stud conversation. You started early on this stud conversation.
Brittany, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. You're gonna have
It's
to
a
get
trauma response. All right.
Oh man,
That's exactly what it is. Let's
that is
identify what the
crazy.
real problem is. Look at the root.
Yes. Pray for me. Pray for me.
And just FYI, Jody said he got a 751 credit score.
Okay. Hey.
Well, all
Just
right.
just to
That
let
means
you
you
know.
can get any house you want, Jody. I got you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
House.
Jo- Jo-
Get that
Jody
boy
gonna
up out of Florida.
yeah, Jody gonna be trying to
You
move
know what
from
I'm talking
Florida.
about?
House. Any house you need, I got you.
Yeah, hey, Jody, stay in Florida. We don't need any new people here in Texas. We're full.
Right.
We're full.
I got a
We're
referral
full.
partner, I'm sure, in Florida.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
you
we're
go.
full.
See,
We're
we're
full.
already making connections tonight. This is splendiferous.
Already. Benji, my guy, the man, the brand. What's good with you, man? How you feeling today?
I'm good, man. Trying to figure this whole, you know what I'm saying? Those of you who don't know, man, your boy's back in college, back in school,
Hey.
trying to learn some new stuff. You know, got to keep the brain, you know what I'm saying, going. Got to learn something new. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning this new cybersecurity, this new tech stuff, you know what I'm saying? Algorithms, software, databases, all that stuff, right? So, trying to keep it going, trying to learn something new, new hustle, new money. You know what I'm saying? New ideas. Always looking to reinvent ourselves. So that's the motto. That's the goal. But you got to put in them hours, man. So it ain't gonna come to you. You got to go get it. So that's the mode we in. But other than that, man, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a healthy space. You know what I'm saying? We got the show popping, businesses going, waiting for the next event to pop up. You know, everything. So just trying to make it happen. But I'm good.
Facts. That hey, can't ask for a better start to the week. You know what I'm saying? All my people on the panel are good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And your boy back out here in these streets. I got out there walking yesterday. You know what I'm saying? For Brittney and B, y'all might not be familiar with it, but I tore my Achilles back in November. So
he getting old. He couldn't. He got PTSD now. You know what I'm saying? He tried to pull up off the curl off of the cross, and then went up with some LeBrons on, and them joints didn't hold up, and just bang.
Yeah. See another reason why LeBron's number 2, but we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I actually got a chance to walk yesterday about a mile and a half. So, anybody who's had this type of injury before, it usually takes about a year to recover from it.
Yeah.
But, I'm moving pretty fast. I'm making some strides. So, it felt good to get out the house and enjoy the beautiful Dallas, Texas weather yesterday. So, I cannot complain at all.
Sure.
Right on.
For sure.
So good weather. You're right about that. Weather been good.
Yeah, the weather. Yeah, the weather was beautiful yesterday, so I definitely enjoyed that. But we're gonna go ahead and get rolling. Y'all already know the
check on B. Check on B.
We already checked on B. Where you been?
You checked on B?
I checked on B before I checked on you.
Sleep, bro.
Oh,
See, look at
asleep,
it.
bro.
Look at him. Look at him.
You're daydreaming about no tall women, man.
See, beef is right in. See, he hitting you. He hitting you on the slide. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
It's been a long day.
Facts. All right, so this is episode 120. We call it the next move because we want to make your next move your best move, and we brought 2 of the best people that we could pull because I looked at their social media sites. I properly vetted these people as we always do.
Right.
To make sure that they're accomplished and make sure they have some knowledge on the subject. I didn't ask them. I went through their social medias. You know how y'all do. Y'all do your social media detectives. You go through there, you figure out things and you see things from people and you check their content out and you say, you know what? That's the right person. So, shout out to the people who also hit us up with an opportunity to be on there because a lot of people came and hit us up about an opportunity to be on here tonight. And we will give other people opportunities as well. But these are the 2 individuals we picked. So we're going to rock with them tonight and you'll be able to ask them questions and chime in with your comments as we go along throughout the episode. So without further ado, let's get started. Y'all know how we get started, though. We got to check the background. We got to see where these people is from, what set they claim, what area they claim, or whatever the case may be. So, Miss Brittney, talk to the people about your background. Where you from?
Every time somebody asks me that, I literally say the same thing, which is everywhere. All over. I'm from, I guess, born New York City, New York.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? New York to Texas. But then I had probably the second half of my childhood in Kentucky. Yeah, graduated high school, graduated undergrad in Kentucky. And then
did you ever go to a college Kentucky game though?
A UK game?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. UK basketball, right? We talking about basketball, right? Yeah. UK basketball for sure. Yeah, that's we don't
mandatory, right?
Professional team, so it's UK basketball is it. That's it. That's all we got. So yeah, I've been to UK games and left there, moved to San Antonio, then Dallas, then Seattle, then back to Dallas. So Dallas is kind of like home now. But I've spent a lot of time all over. So, but Dallas is home. W's home.
Yes, that's the definition of everywhere. I agree.
All over. Yeah,
literally.
All over. Background before real estate. Let's see. I was in criminal court administration for 17 and a half years. So prior to real estate, that's what I did. And a lot of my moving was work related, promotions and things like that. And then decided that I needed to make more money and I need to have more flexibility, or at least I told myself that real estate would be flexible, but it's not. But anyway,
to keep you locked in.
Yes, all the time. If you want to be a producer, you are going to be busy all the time. Either managing other people, managing your team, managing, the people that assist you. You're always busy. But came to real estate, got my real estate license 4 years ago. Been in leadership in real estate. Real estate, was vice president of an independent brokerage up until about August of last year. Decided to start my own team. Working on my broker's license right now. I actually took my last class over the weekend, so I'll have my broker's license in the next couple of months. Soon it won't be Realtor Brit, it'll be Broker Brit.
Broker Brit. Oh Lord. Yeah. No, don't say broker.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say broker Brit. Don't say broker Brit.
Like, why would we not want to say Broker Brit? No, broker is a level.
Broke just don't sound right.
I know, right? But actually, it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
Brit the broker or something like that, right?
Brit the broker. But so yeah, that's where we're at. I have a team. My team name is 111 Property Group. Shout out to them. And so we just moving right along, making progress, making strides, one day at a time.
For sure.
Okay, that's interesting. As I always like to point out, me and Benji always talk about this. We have a lot of guests on the show, and I'm telling you, it's a reoccurring theme that people start out in one field and end up somewhere totally different.
Totally different. Right. Yes.
I mean,
I know we're gonna go on. We're gonna probably ask this question to B as well. But in that space, like, did you just get tired of your profession? It's like, I feel like it's time to do something else.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I started working in my field before I even graduated undergrad. I was 19, working full time. So I got burnt out, from 19 to, 17 and a half years after that. And it's a lot of selfless work. The reward is helping other people and other families kind of get their life back on track. Because I primarily worked with people that were justice involved, but also were in addiction and recovery. So drug and alcohol abuse, managed juvenile drug courts, family drug courts, probation officer for a while, a liaison for the court, competency hearings for people that were deemed incompetent to stand trial. I mean, so it's a lot of selfless work, a lot of work that you have to just keep going, regardless if you're not being, you're not compensated because you're working long hours. I mean, it's a lot. So you get burnt out. It's easy to get burnt out. Yep. And decided it was time. I had actually thought about and considered getting my real estate license probably 10 years before I actually did it. Back in like 08-ish time frame, when the market crashed, I had bought my first house like a month before the market crashed, which is crazy. So it intrigued me, like, how in the world does the real estate market have so much power over our entire economy? That part right there just blew my mind. So that's really when I got kind of intrigued and interested in real estate, was probably like 08, 09. Literally
during the mortgage crash.
Yeah, literally, when I bought my house, little small, started home, 120,000 down in San Antonio. And it went from 120, it was a brand new house worth like 65. I was like, how in the world? What just happened? So that's what got me into real estate, kind of figuring that part out. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I dig that. A journey, and to see people progressing on their journey is a dope thing for sure.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yes.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, B. Talk to the people, man. Let them know where you're from, man. Let them know about your background and everything.
You throwing up the W, or what's going on?
So I'm originally from Philadelphia. Yeah, man.
Philly in the house. FYI, I think the Celtics are whooping up on Philly right now. You might need to check on that. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, man. I'm from North Philly originally. Moved down here when we were younger. Primarily, man, I grew up in Oak Cliff and West Dallas, like between the two. That's like my old stomping grounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, as far as professional, career background, man, I was in healthcare from Ken, from the time that we were teenagers till well into adulthood, man. I was in pharmaceuticals. Even when I was in the Navy, man, I was doing pharmacy in the Navy. So I did that for 5 years, and then just kept on doing it even after I got out the Navy. Um, Went on to start teaching at different colleges and things of that nature. Then decided to get back into the field, so I went back into pharmacy. So stopped teaching, and then I got into project management, man. And I really enjoyed doing project management. And from that, I kind of transitioned into real estate. Yeah.
Okay.
I did that. Gosh, the Navy. Was you on the boats? How was your Navy life back then? Was it
man? So it was half and half, right? So a lot of people don't know, there's a blue side and a green side to the Navy.
Right.
And pretty much what that means is, like, blue side, you're on the ship, right? Green side, you're on land, usually with the Marines. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I did kind of half and half. I was on a boat for a little bit, and primarily I was just on land,
All right, for sure. All right. Hey, we got some credentialed people here. We got military. We got experience on the show. So we're going to have some dope information for y'all tonight. So we can't wait to dive into this real estate topic.
And let me add this little tidbit of information. I'm on embarrass B for a minute. B went to high school with me, y'all. We're high school classmates. We went to a huge high school, so we weren't around each other all the time. But we knew each other, and we went to a school. They have 6 different schools in one school. Basically, it's called Townview Magnet Center. We were the first group of students in that school. So yeah, that school's been around for a long time because we were the first group in there.
We getting old, man. We getting old.
And let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this, and we'll move on. Brandon had that beard in high school.
I did.
I didn't have no beard in high school. I didn't have no facial hair,
still
nothing
can't
like that.
one right.
And Brandon had a full. Listen, this man had a full beard in high school.
That's facts, man. Facts.
Did they make you shave it in the Navy?
I have to trim it down, man, because I'll get the whole Rick Ross going if I don't trim it, man. For real.
This man, I'm telling you, this man was 18 years old. I seen a year. I was like, how these dudes walking around here? I just had the little line, you know what I'm saying? They had a full beard. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I caught up.
You did, brother. You sure did.
I ain't caught up yet, y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? Pray for me.
Nah, you ain't gonna never catch up, Anthony Hamilton.
I mean, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? God give me about, in about 10 more years, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get some poofiness coming out that joint. I'm just saying.
Charlene is gone, brother. It's not happening. All right. So with real estate, I mean, I think the first question we usually ask when you're in these fields, you might have mentioned it a little bit, but we just want to be clear. So Brittnee, you say you've been in the field for 4 years?
Yep, going into my 5th.
Okay, so 4 years going into 5. And B, how long have you been in the field?
Man, so I started non-traditionally, right? So I started in 2016, but I was just doing investment deals, right? And Brittnee's going to understand this. I was doing wholesaling, right? So that's an investment strategy that you don't necessarily need a license to do.
Right.
And we can get into
just bring the loans over to people, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when the pandemic hit, I was like, oh man, I need to pivot. And that's when I actually went and got licensed to be a real estate agent. And it was kind of my thought process was I'll get a chance to double dip. So I can still wholesale, I can still do fix and flips, but now I also have the opportunity to help people purchase and sell homes at the same time. So that was my thought process behind becoming a realtor. Yeah.
I understand that one because that's how I started. I started just referring loans to a major company, to people, and then kind of dove into it head first once I understood it more. So,
nice.
Okay.
So you're in lending, Benji?
Well, I was. I kind of like you. I didn't want to do it no more. It was too exhausting. Like it's good money.
Okay.
It's lovely. It will take literally all of your time. You make some good money if you hustling and busting. Plus, you can kind of be in that space where you can, if you're a solo artist, you get what I'm saying? You can ride solo, especially when you're with a large company. Like company I was with was doing $2 billion a month. So they were huge. So you can literally just float like you want to and just be an individual. But with that comes a lot of your time. Your time doesn't become your own. Like you're beholden to everybody. Anybody that calls you, whether it be for paperwork, whether it be for you're just referring somebody, anything, your time is just gone. And to me, that was like, man, I can't do this for another 20, 25 years. I can always fall back on it. But to be able to go in and do something different, less tedious, and then to have real estate in my back pocket just makes sense in this era when everything's kind of shifty right now. So,
man, you always got to have a side hustle, man, especially nowadays. You have to have a backup plan.
Always.
Okay. So one of my favorite questions that I like to ask the guests is, okay, I'll start with Brittney, of course, because she's the lady on the panel.
The only lady on the panel.
Yeah.
Well, no, she left me hanging tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right.
Yeah, we're gonna let the light shine on you.
So, message her and be like, you left me hanging now.
So what does it feel like to get up every day and do something that you love doing? How does that feel?
Really good. And then I tell you, I got burnt out. Like we mentioned that earlier. When I say burnt out, I knew I needed to hurry up and put my notice in, peacefully go. And because if I didn't, I was going to get fired because I was just not motivated to do the work. So coming into real estate, it has just the other piece. Just like you said, every day you are hustling, you are working. If you want to be a producer. Now, if you're cool with making, being kind of average, then that's okay too. But I really do enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. I always find myself kind of setting more goals and more goals. So I hit, whatever the goals are for the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, which for me is the part that I love. So I can literally shape it however I want to shape it. I set the goals for whatever, and I go after them at the speed that I want to go after them. If I want to slow it down and I want to take some more time to be with my kids or my family, something like that, then I can. And so it feels amazing to be able to get up every day and I get to choose my schedule. Like naturally, you don't really know that you are such an independent thinker, mover, shaker, doer until you literally it's you. It's just you to decide that. And it's been amazing. It has really been, because initially I came into real estate, the first 2 years I was working both. I was still working my full-time job in criminal courts, trying to build up my real estate business for 2 years. And then I went completely jumped out there 100% real estate 2 years ago. So the last 2 years have been amazing. They've been a little scary sometimes, but they've been fun. It's been a great experience for sure.
That transition can always have a little anxiety attached to it that we don't know in the beginning. Right.
Oh yes. That what if is powerful, but you got to push through it.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely dope because I mean, you got to be motivated by something to do that because people had this tendency to think when you work for yourself, like you just have all this carte blanche to do whatever you want to, whenever you want to. Nah, you got to work harder when you work for yourself.
Yes, you do. Yes.
The thing I love about it is you don't have somebody over your head who like I can't work for somebody who ain't smarter than me. Like that's annoying because they ask questions and do things that get on my nerves.
Right.
It's like, bro, like you the supervisor. I'm not. Like you ain't finna piggyback off of me because you get paid more than me. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so as an entrepreneur and doing your thing, you get to kind of dictate those terms. But if you're working for somebody that knows what they're doing, got their P's and Q's together, cross their I's, dot their T's, and they passing that down to you in the corporate America, it's lovely. Other than that, it's a headache, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
Understandable.
IB, talk to us, man.
Man, you know what, man? I really love this game, and honestly, my passion is the hustle, bro. If you don't have the hustle, you're not gonna make it in the real estate business. Like Brittney was saying, nobody's gonna get up and tell you, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, you have to be a self-starter. You have to have a schedule. You have to know, where things are at in the process. You got to get out there and hustle every day, man. Because if you don't hustle, you don't eat. I got a family to feed, man. So every day I'm prospecting, trying to find, a new client, a new deal, a new transaction to just get out there and, turn it over, man. And another thing I love, man, is like, I'm really an advocate for affordable housing. Like, I'm part of a whole, foundation, a corporation for affordable housing. And man, I really just love educating people on the power of real estate. Like, so many people don't understand. Like, man, I bet you can't name 2 millionaires that don't have a strong real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
Like, if they're a true millionaire, they have a strong real estate portfolio, with the exception of these lottery winners, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So real estate, it's been here forever. It's going to be here forever. And to me, man, it's just the way to go. You know what I'm saying? If you want to build generational wealth, you got to learn this real estate business, man. You have to.
All right. What states are you guys currently licensed in?
I'm only licensed in Texas. So
same with me. Yeah.
I'm able to refer to other states, to other realtors, but I'm only licensed in Texas. Yeah.
Right. And you know what? And that's something big that we do. We're both part of brokerages, right? And that brokerage has agents all across the country.
Right. So which you can reach out to, right?
Exactly. Just because we're in Texas doesn't mean that we can't help you, find a realtor in another state that's going to be able to help you, purchase wherever you're at. So
Facts.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So one of the questions I wanted to ask, aside from the licensing part, is considering, let's say if I'm considering as a Californian, I'm a resident here, and I'm considering that move to Texas, or let's say I want to purchase in Texas. Talk to me about what I would have to do, what parameters, what rules, laws would I have to follow. Brittnee, what would I have to do in order to make that move or to just purchase out there?
From California, are you investing or are you buying a personal property, like plan to move?
Let's say if it's both. Let's do the investment part first, and then I guess I'll have B answer the other part.
Yeah. So for my investor clients, if they're out of state, you're going to get however your financing is done. So a lot of the investors will use cash, especially if they're coming from a state that is obviously California. Cost of living is a lot higher. If they're selling something there, if it's a first-time investor, if it's a long-time investor. But a lot of them use cash, or if it's, something they're going to fix up, it's to be hard money loan, something like that. But they're going to get that pre-approval. Most of those investors that are out of state are probably going to buy sight unseen. So they have to really trust the realtor they're working with, because we have to be their eyes, their ears, everything.
Everything, right.
Inspectors work with, making sure that what they're buying and for the purpose that they're buying it for, probably rental property, something like that it's actually going to meet its needs. It's going to sustain. Investors tend to buy more than one in a year, 2, 3, 4, 5. It depends on the type of investment they're trying to do, the type of portfolio they're trying to build. So again, you have to trust your realtor, because they are your eyes and ears, especially if they're out of state. So a lot of video calls, a lot of video showings, things, via like FaceTime and, stuff like that. And same process, if it's cash, the closing is quick, 7, 14 days, maybe, and making sure that everything goes through smooly, So.
Now, do I have to establish residency there, or is that even an issue?
No, not really. It's not going to be an issue here in Texas. We have quite a few, and I'm sure B could probably attest to this too, but we have quite a few investors that are from out of state that come purchase property here in the Metroplex specifically. Probably the biggest thing I noticed, at least during the pandemic, during that about 2-year time frame, a lot of the new construction communities stopped allowing investors to purchase. So research from the realtor, making sure that community can be purchased, can allow or will allow investors to purchase in there. That's, just work that us is on the real estate side, the professional has to do to make sure that they can purchase it, rent it out. A lot of the HOAs, even if they allow investors in, they have restrictions on how many and how many rental properties that community can have. So again, that's just work on us. That's more work for us to do on the front end to ensure our investors making a good investment.
All right. Now, B, what is, if I'm considering that move there instead of, I'm considering moving there as a Californian, but I want to buy immediately. How does that work? I don't want to start out renting. What do I have to do?
Yeah. So any seasoned realtor is going to tell you that you're going to need to get pre-approved first, right? Most of us won't even take you to go look at houses without a pre-approval letter, right? And pretty much what that just says is that you're serious. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to waste our time. You're not going to waste anybody's time because you're ready, right? So that would be the first step. Get pre-approval through whatever lender you want, whoever you bank with, or go to Rocket Mortgage or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And then from there, we're going to go look at properties that fit that criteria, right? So that are within budget, that meet your needs as far as bedroom, bathroom, square footage, and then also, in the location that you want, right? So once you find that, you put it under contract. Hopefully you don't get outbid. Hopefully, smoothly. And, after that, you're in escrow, and unlike an investment property, that usually takes about 30 days just to get, because you go from pre-approval to conditional to, actually, approved and finalized through underwriting and all that stuff. So that could be a process. It could take 30 days. It could take longer than 30 days, to be honest with you. But, eventually, as long as everything clears underwriting, you get the keys to the house, man. That's how
good to go. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the sound of that, because those are some key components, understanding those parts for anybody that's trying to move out of state, especially for me, who's been considering it. So, and I'm loving Katy, Texas. Just want y'all to know, Katy is looking really nice. I just want y'all to know.
Houston.
Yeah.
West of Houston. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I saw something out there that made me almost drop it all and
hop on a plane.
Let's go look at it now. Can we come next week and look at that?
It'll be gone next week. It'll be gone by next week, though.
Mortgages down there it's actually more affordable to buy down in Houston than it is up here in the Metroplex. You can buy more house for,
as long as you're outside the 610 loop, like that's the key.
Yeah.
You have to be a little further out the city. Yeah.
So I'm
sure you guys do a lot more Zoom calls and stuff like that with somebody that's out of state or out of town, correct? That's trying to get out that way, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've worked with a couple of clients that were not in the Metroplex, and that's exactly what we did. A lot of Zoom virtual appointments.
FaceTime,
showings with virtual showings, putting them on FaceTime. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and even during the pandemic, I mean, initially, everything shut down except for real estate.
Yep.
And lucky for me, I just before the pandemic hit, I became licensed. So, in 2019, I took my classes in 2018. So 2019, I was licensed. So I was doing showings, and people lived in the area, but I did a lot of showings virtually, and people were buying houses virtual. They live right here in the Metroplex because they wouldn't go outside. But I mean, I was outside showing houses. So
a lot of people, that real estate didn't stop. A lot of people became multimillionaires and even hit billionaire status during the pandemic because real estate became, kind of easier to get because you could do Zoom calls. You didn't have to go here and there. You could literally do all of this. They kind of centralized everything. So it made it much easier.
Yeah. The interest rates low, people were getting, stimulus checks and things like that, extra money putting in their pocket. People started working
PPP loan.
Yeah.
People bought houses
not in jail today,
but and you know what? A common trend that I've seen, during the pandemic is people who traditionally wanted to be in the inner city, they started moving far and far and far away from the central areas. Just the thought process of just getting distance away from other people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think too. Part of that was in the industry I work in. A lot of the jobs became remote.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
had a lot of our like VPs, you know, who make well more money than we do. They started moving further out because they didn't have to worry about the drive into the building
Yes.
anymore, right? They work remotely as well, so that didn't become a factor. So for them, that just eliminated that barrier of now I can get where I really want to go and don't have to worry about making that commute every day because it's
Right.
not even a factor anymore. So
Right.
that contributed to it, I think, as well.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I would agree. Totally agree. You don't
Yeah.
have to make that 1 hour commute any longer. Oh, and I can get this house over here right now. Oh, let me do
Right.
that. Let me do that.
Get
Yep.
them
It
in.
created a lot of digital nomads too.
Yeah.
Very
That
true.
part. Yeah.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
talk to us right now about the interest rates right now. What are interest rates looking like? I know it's central across the board, but talk to us a little bit about that right now. What are interest rates looking like now?
From what I've seen come through as far as the pre-approvals, we're still in the sixes,
Okay.
6.5, six even. Haven't really seen sevens. I did at the end of the year last year, but I'm mostly seeing 6 and 6.5, which people are still like, oh my gosh, that's so high. You know,
Right.
I think my first house I had, my interest rate was at an 8. And
Okay.
that was in 2008.
Right.
I want to say I had an 8% interest rate, and that was the norm, you know.
Right.
So 6% is not that bad, but yeah, that's what
It
I've been.
isn't, especially when you get in the house and you can refi
Mhm.
years down the road once interest rates drop. You can always get you a 6, 7 right now,
Yep.
especially if you're doing a long-term deal, right? Or doesn't matter. Getting the property kind of matters the most, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, and you know what? That's something that I really coach my clients on. When they do, you know, get the sticker shock and they're like, "Whoa, 6.8%!" Like, you know, and I tell them the same thing verbatim what you just said, right? You know, you'll always be able to refinance. You know, as long as you keep your credit score up and your DTI down, you'll be
Right.
able to refinance when interest rates go down. But the key right now is right because the interest rates are going up, less people are entering the market, which is
Yes.
less competition. So you can get the house that you want. Also, prices are starting to creep back down
Be
a
back
little
down.
bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing people paying 50,000 over asking price or 100,000 over asking price. That's not happening right now. So
Right.
your chances of getting the house that you want are a lot better right now. And you know, you might have to bite the bullet for a few years with the interest rate, but as soon as they come back down, you know, you keep your credit straight and you just refinance into a better rate. You know, marry the house, date the rate. That's what we say, right?
Marry the house, date the rate. I like
Yes,
that.
yeah.
You gotta put that. We gotta put that one on the t-shirt.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to put that one on the t-shirt. I like that. I like marry the house, date
Date
the
the
rate.
rate.
Mhm.
Okay, so well, I know the answer to this, but you know, of course we have to ask these questions for our audience. So, is the market right now? Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market right now?
Oh, it's still a seller's market.
Yes.
Yeah, and Brittney, you can chime in. Now it's not insane like it was
Right.
a year and a half ago, 2
2 years
years
ago,
ago.
yeah.
Like you're not getting that buyer frenzy anymore, but sellers still have the advantage right now.
Okay.
And what I've seen. But Brittney, you can chime in. I don't know, you know, what your experience.
I'm gonna have to disagree, you know, respectfully with my colleague out there in the industry.
No doubt.
I definitely feel like it's a buyer's market. We're creeping out of a buyer's market because I have seen a few of my team members, they've had a couple of multiple offer scenarios, and but it's nothing like it was. You know, that part I do agree with you. But right now, we're still able to negotiate off of the sales price,
Right.
or added, sellers concessions and things like that. Now when those days are long gone, then yeah, we're back in the seller's market and they're getting whatever they want, for the house. They're getting over asking and things like this. But I've noticed that is still a buyer's market, in my opinion.
Okay.
And you know what? It also depends on the price point, right? Like, you know, most of my listings are under 350. So you know, a lot of people qualify for, you know,
Mhm.
for less of
350,
a
right.
house, right?
It's true. That part is very true. You're right about that. And if they're
right. So
higher
my
end,
listings are getting multiple offers.
yep,
Yeah.
you're right. And you're right. Anything under that, about 350, 300 and under, there are so many people that are qualified at that price point. It is hard to find a home. You're right. And that, especially if it's two or even 150, we're looking at condos. We're not even looking at single family homes for that $100,000 to $200,000 mark. But anything above, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to $1 million, 2 million, something like that, sellers are, buyers are getting what they want now. I sold, I kid you not, last summer, I sold a house and my buyers paid $150,000 over asking.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was listed at
They wanted that house.
Oh man, it was listed at 850 and they paid $1 million even. And luckily, thankfully, thank God, the appraisal came through at $1 million. So we appraised the value, but we had to waive. I mean, like, it was crazy. So that was definitely a seller's market. And that was just in June. That was just June is when we closed. So we went under contract in May,
Wow.
so I thank God we haven't had that. And I hope we don't ever go back to that where we're paying 100,000.
Guys,
but it was a lot of people got in and got what they wanted. It was a real numbers game. If you were really into it and you knew that the market was going to skyrocket, it's a numbers game. So I can totally see why people were willing to pay over, because that house now is probably worth what, maybe close to more than half. What?
Yeah, $1 million too.
Well, hopefully, listen, but here's the thing: we closed in June, and then the market shifted August, September timeframe. Third quarter of last year, it wasn't dead, but it was quiet.
Right.
It was definitely quiet fourth quarter of last year. So it shifted. And so I think the people hardest hit were at the higher price point. Right. Those in kind of the threes and under, they didn't see as much of, it's not too bad because people still are at that price point. Families need houses at that price point. I think probably the harder hit would probably be the higher end clients. So I'm hopeful that their value is still there. It's a gorgeous home. So I don't doubt that if it's not there today, it'll be there. It'll be back there. So,
right. And that's always the game with real estate, the price point. And then of course, getting the equity and things out of it. That really matters.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One of the residual effects that I'm starting to see, because of, we had almost 2 years of a lot of houses getting sold for a lot over listing price, right? Mm-hmm. What has started to happen is now the assessed tax value has gone up in the entire area, right? Also, your insurance, your homeowner's insurance rates have gone up because materials cost more to, to make, and it costs more to fix the home if something goes wrong with it. So a lot of my clients, a lot of my buyer clients, they're calling me now like, hey man, I just got this letter in the mail saying that I have a shortage in escrow, in that, I have my mortgage is going up $500 a month. Like, what is this? What do I do? Mm-hmm. And I'm explaining to them like, man, that's the market, man. Like, this is just residual effects of people paying so much over asking price. I mean, the flip side of it, the good thing is, you do have a lot of that equity in your house now, right? So, worst case scenario, if you have to sell it, you'll walk away with some money in your pocket. But, that doesn't solve your problem of having this, mortgage that's gone up $500 a month. What do you do? You know what I'm saying?
That's why you come in. To me, the smart thing is you come in with a good cash amount to keep your mortgage payment low. I think people get in too high, kind of dreaming a little bit too much, and then you get in super high, and now that mortgage payment, you're not ready for a possible mortgage hike or whatever. And you get there, and let's say, job ain't get you no raise, whatever it may be. And now you got to add, extra income onto what you thought was, going to stay at a certain space. It's almost like an adjustable rate mortgage, which kind of, we know how much damage that did years ago. So
yes, it did. Man, it did. Yes, they did.
Yep. So, I mean, I think my next question is, I was looking at a lot of different stuff, like B was just talking about a lot of the houses that he sells within a certain price point. And I know we have some people out there who are realtors that only sell $1 million houses, and that
Right.
only sell like in these certain brackets, you know. So that's what I want to know. Do you all specialize in any specific type of home or price point area, Brittney?
No. I don't
Right,
have,
right.
I will work with anybody.
Get that sale.
Closed at 95,000 and I've closed at $1 million and everything in between. So no, I don't discriminate, as long as they're serious and ready to work within their parameters, So if you got 95,000 to spend, let's make sure you know what 95,000 gets you. If you have 400,000, let's work with 400,000, and not considering 6, 7, and 8 when you got 4.
Right.
So as long as they're willing to work, I'm working too.
Okay. B?
Yeah, man. You know what? I haven't been fortunate enough to close $1 million listing yet. But I'm like Brittney, I work with anybody, buyers and sellers. I work with anybody. I typically tend to work with investors because I'm an investor myself. And again, usually they're staying below that 350 point, right? Because they're trying to fix and flip it real fast. So, just being honest with you, that's kind of where I've been making my living at, is below 350. But yeah, I'll work with anybody, as long as you're willing to do the work, like Brittney said, I'll work with anybody. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so now I got the house and I got to deal with this PMI, this mortgage insurance. Talk to me about that. Can that be paid off in advance? Do I have to add that to my entire mortgage, or from month to month? Or talk to us a little bit about how that works.
That's in there. That's there. Unless you're gonna pay 20%, I want to say it's 20% up front. There are, now, let me not say it's always going to be there, because there are portfolio loans that a lot of like the local banks, Simmons Bank, I believe, is one of them, that has a portfolio loan they keep in-house, and there is no PMI on there. So which is nice, for a buyer, because PMI tends to be about $200-$300 extra, on the mortgage. So unless, if you don't have one of those type of loans that excludes it, then yeah, you're paying it. You're paying that extra, $200-$300 a month, and it's usually until you you pay down about 20% of the loan.
Of the entire loan, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
So, and you know what? And Brittney, I may be incorrect on this one. I think that's how it used to be. I think now PMI lasts the entire length of the loan, like the entire life of the loan. I know you used to be able to request it after 20%, but I think these newer loans, the way they have them written, it's in there.
Because was it reduced at all at any point? I know it went up during the pandemic. Can you recall if it was the PMI mortgage percentage went up, or has it always stayed kind of basic at minimal at its percent?
I think it's like 1%, right, Brittney? Like
somewhere around there. And look, don't get me talking. I'm not a lender. Listen.
Yeah, that too, right? Yeah.
Benji, I am a realtor. I know a lot of things. I mean, I know a little bit about a lot of things. So I know enough to refer you to the right person to give you those answers. But
I like that. I like that.
I am a lender. Okay, my boyfriend.
I like that, because she's not trying to give me a response that she can't answer. She knows the connect. So I did that. I respect that.
I can give you enough to be dangerous, and then I'm going to refer you to my lender. That's what okay. From there, I can tell you, I know that there's PMI. I want to say it's about 20%, and B might be right that they don't do it anymore. But just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know, yeah, there's some PMI in there. And then I'm gonna say, let's talk to the lender for the details.
Right. She can be trusted, because she's gonna get you to the proper people. We got some people on the show that's gonna get you to the proper people tonight. So that's very, very, very respectable. So all our Texas folk out there, y'all need to go on and buy the house. Go, yeah, hit them up.
Absolutely.
Okay, so do you happen to know how many homes you've actually sold?
Altogether, So my first 2 years in real estate, like I said, I was working full time and doing real estate. So I was on a team, and on the team that I was on, it did not allow me to count my closings. So it didn't go under my name, and it was really, it sucked. But I didn't really know that was like a bad thing until I, started to understand how to make money in real estate. And then I was like, okay, let me help and get out of this team, because I'm not making the money I could be making, and I'm not getting credit for this. So
because people can actually take credit for your numbers on the books, and I've seen that happen before. We was working with the team, and I ain't gonna put no names out there or whatever, but we was all in a big huge group, and if you was the top dog in that joint, but somebody over you saw you getting a little too high, they would, try to steal your points. So you know what I'm saying? So it was like, we're gonna take right when it got to its a little point. Oh, well, hey, we're gonna take this loan from you, and we're gonna pass it over to so and so. We see you swamped. We go, and I'm like, well,
they would say, well, we're gonna have, so and so. I won't use it. We're gonna have so and so take you from contract to close.
Right.
What? Okay, well, all right, but we're still gonna pay you. You're like, okay. So they take them to contract to close, and then come to find out your name's nowhere on that contract, so you don't
nowhere on it. Nowhere on it.
Yes.
Nowhere on it. And you're like, wait. Because if you're smart, you already know you jotting down your notes, because you got so-and-so to call and try to get back to him just in case. And you're like, oh, well, I spoke with so-and-so and he's handling it for me, and he got us through escrow. And you're like, oh, they slicker than snot on a doorknob over here. Right?
Yep. So I don't know mine. I don't know my total number. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't know. I can guess probably over the last 4 years, maybe a couple hundred, but that's a guess, because I know during the first 2 years, the market was really, really busy, and I was on a team, and took plenty of families, got them to contract, and then of course didn't realize what was going on, and they were taking a contract to close and writing their other names on there. But since then, though, I could probably guess. I wish I knew, but I don't. I don't know I don't know my whole number, a total number. But
So good. So good. I when I heard you say that off the top, I was like, dang.
They got me.
I'm sorry. Don't feel bad though. I was in the same boat.
Wait a minute.
Spreading they spreading the love. This is a family. We're spreading it out to everybody. But hold on, Pimpin'. You're like, I'm the one who got that. Like,
that was me. I did those shows. Like, what? I got the information.
Yes. Trust me, I've been there. And I went home with some hurt feelings several times. Yes.
All right, B, how about you? What's your numbers looking like?
Yeah, same thing, man. I don't even track the numbers. Especially like early on, I didn't know much about metrics, right? So before I even became a real estate agent, when I was just doing wholesaling and stuff like that, like, dude, I was just about flipping that deal. So I didn't even track numbers at that point. So I can't even give you a realistic figure as how many houses I sold.
Man said he wasn't tracking numbers at a house, but he was tracking numbers in their bank account.
Exactly.
That money.
That's all that mattered. That's all that mattered at that point. You know what I'm saying? So,
when you've been on the opposite side of it, you like, God dog it. It's like not looking at your contract as a football player and realizing you got to pay so-and-so over here. You got to pay your agent 20%. You got to pay so-and-so 3%. And you sitting there like, I could have made an extra 100,000.
Yeah.
If you'd have just closed that deal, and that deal. Cause
man, what it really comes down to, man, is just setting goals, right? Because when you set goals, then by nature you have to track it, right? Because you want to know if you hit your goal or not, right? So and I didn't know that early on in my career about setting goals and all that stuff. I was just all about the hustle, man. So
I wanted my name on the billboard, so I got a big ego, so
for those tall women.
If I'm just being honest, like I wanted my name on the billboard. Like when you see that little dude over there on the billboard over there, that brother doing some loans. He ain't letting nobody play with his numbers for sure.
But it is about setting those goals. You're right about that. Especially as a realtor, you have to you got to give yourself the year goal, the quarterly goal, the this week I want to make sure I, prospect and meet new, this many people. Definitely. Absolutely. So yeah.
Very true. Because once you get in that space, the goal is always to try to maximize the potential, because the market can be finicky at times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's up season and there's down seasons, and to be perfectly honest, if you're with a corporation, if you're not meeting certain numbers, they could lay you off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to be careful.
Definitely.
All right. So, okay, I got another question. What happens if you're selling a house or you're dealing with a house? I know you all have run across this issue before, and the house looks amazing, but as you start to do your, actually go and look at the house and do your walkthroughs and stuff like that, you start seeing foundation issues. You start seeing all these things in this promising house. I know it's a letdown because you wanted to make the sale, but how do you approach that with the buyer of that property who may not have seen it yet, who's coming to see it, who's coming to check it out? Do you tell the buyer, or do you just focus on the positives? Well, how do you approach that?
No, man. So, as a real estate agent, as a realtor, we have what's called fiduciary duties. Mm-hmm. So we have to do what's in the best interest of our clients, even if it's not in the best interest of ourselves, right? So, one of those things is I always have my clients do an inspection, right? Because I know things to look for, but I don't know the extent of the damage, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, I could feel that the foundation is slanted towards one way or the other, but I don't know the extent of how bad the foundation is, right? Or I'm not getting up on the roof to tell you how many shingles are missing. You know what I'm saying? That's what an inspection is for. So I always tell my clients to get an inspection. And, when they get that inspection report, if they're not satisfied with it, and if we can't, negotiate with the seller with some type of contingencies to, offset that cost or something, then, we walk away from the deal. We find a new one,
Right.
Okay. Yeah. What you all? Thing. Yeah. I was gonna say, let me let Brittnee answer.
Oh no, I agree. Same. We have that. Our entire job is that of the client. We want to make sure that we are client centered. So I look at it like, if it were me moving in here, would I be okay with my kids being here, my family being here? And so at the end of the day, if the answer is no, I'm going to do what's best for my client, and if they want to keep moving forward, then okay. But at the end of the day, I'm also going to let them know, hey, I'm pretty sure there's foundation issues over here. That looks like it might be mold. Let's definitely get it checked out, or whatever the issues might be. But they ultimately decide what they want to do. But I definitely will make sure that they're informed. They have who they need, inspectors, specialists, whatever it is, plumbers, electricians, to come out and check out the home. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Y'all heard that you have honest people here.
Right.
So again, when they give you that information at the end of the show, y'all need to hit them up, because y'all want to deal with honest people. And we know in every industry, not everybody's honest. So
that's true.
We got you hooked up tonight. Y'all make sure y'all go check them out, because you might need some info on that appraisal. You know what I'm saying? You might need proper contact.
So why is the DFW area such an attractive place to move to now all of a sudden? Like, it's been that way up and down, but it seems like in the past few years, like everybody that I talk to, yeah, man, I'm trying to move up there. I'm trying to move up to the DFW, man. I'm like, whoa.
The overall economy. We have so many headquarters. We have so many Fortune 500 companies, Microsoft, Toyota, they're here. And then you add in
a lot of jobs came that way too.
Absolutely. And then, we technically if you compare DFW, compare, the Metroplex to across the country, we still have affordable housing considering what else is offered here. And then people like, diversity, people like families like good air quote, we can't use the word good schools in real estate, but they like good, meaning the ratings that a family can go look up on the TEA website. They like good schools, they like good weather, so DFW pretty much covers all of that. And that is a huge draw. I'm not from here either. And that's a huge draw when I moved back here and came here to begin with. So yeah,
Makes
people
sense.
love it.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, I talk to a lot of people, and the job that I work for, we're all over the world. So when people, hey man, what's the weather like there, man? I'm thinking about moving there. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, like y'all stay out there, huh?
You're
I'm
like,
like,
ah.
We're full. We're full. Yeah, we're full.
We
Yeah,
full.
the
We don't need
traffic
nobody
is
else.
starting to look like California traffic.
and you know what? And you know what? I do have to say, like places like businesses like Amazon.
Mhm.
Amazon moved here, and man, they have warehouses everywhere. So that's part of the thing too. I've been seeing a lot of warehouses being built in a lot of different areas, which is bringing jobs. You know what I'm saying? And that's a dope thing that people are being able to work in certain areas where they haven't been able to work before. But also because we are in Texas and we got a whole bunch of land to expand that other places
Yeah.
just really don't.
Right.
You know,
Undeveloped land.
hey, like I said, I've been to East and West Texas over the past couple years, and there is a lot of undeveloped land. So I don't see this trend of people moving to Texas stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, yes, it's gonna happen, fam. It's still gonna happen,
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. Y'all traffic gonna get worse. Y'all gonna start looking like more and more like California.
Yeah.
No,
It's happening.
Well, I think we're doing a good job now finally of fixing our freeway system and getting better freeway system, and it kind of starts to make sense even though the people who live here will beg to differ because they get confused when they go down to the 35 mixed master and we're not going to even talk about that.
Well, that thing is horrible, man. You know how many times I accidentally went to Oak Cliff and I didn't mean to? Like,
it was calling you. It was calling you. It was like, come back home. Come
back home. Try to get him back to the cliff.
Yup. So, okay. So what's the most difficult thing about working in this field? I'm pretty sure there's some difficulties that you must, overcome every day. So, Britt, what's the most difficult thing about working in this field?
I think it's the uncertainty. That's probably my has been one of the biggest kind of hurdles to combat, and it's a daily thing. You can have 10, 12, 20, 30, houses closed or under contract, but it's the uncertainty when you get the new one. Are they going to make it to closing? Is their loan going to fall through? Because I've actually had some get canceled, last quarter of last year. And that was the first time. That's the first for me. Like, what? We got to terminate, So it's the uncertainty, and you don't know what the market's going to do. The market went crazy for couple years, and then it slowed down, like out of nowhere. Kind of August, September, October, through the end of the year, and you have to be prepared for it. So I would say the uncertainty.
Right.
Okay, B.
Man, honestly, I'm going to say the emotional toll. Like, man, like I'm going on a roller coaster ride with my clients, right? Like, we get so excited when we get that pre-approval letter. We get so excited when we get an offer accepted, but on the flip side of that, it's so, it's such a downer when you don't get an offer accepted, or when you get through underwriting and they go and do something crazy, like buy a new car, and you like, bro, what the hell did you just do? Like, you just blew the deal. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Your DTI
I hope the Corvette is working,
now you got a mark.
You're gonna be living in that junk for a couple of years. You know what I'm saying?
Or they miss a payment on the credit card, or they overspend at Christmas.
Yeah.
Or you're like, oh my gosh, we've been under contract on this new construction for 5 months, or something. And what do you mean you didn't know you couldn't run your credit card up? Like, how do you not know that? Like, we've talked about this. It's in the book. Like, what do you not understand?
Right.
It's that, yeah.
Some people get cold feet though. They see them numbers in that house and they see them 30 years and they get like, oh shoot, like I'm really gonna have to do this for 30 years. What'd you say earlier? Date the
marry the house, date the rate. So I'm gonna say, man, honestly,
some people don't want to date that.
But you know what, Benji? Honestly, man, when people get to that point, like when they're seeing the numbers, that means that they're getting like closing disclosures and like they're so emotionally vested at that point that they do it. Like
Right.
I've never seen anybody get to that point and back out. Now they may back out when they get that pre-approval letter and they're like, oh no, hold on, this is not this is above my head right now. But yeah, when they're getting that far along into the process where they're, you know, getting closing disclosures and all this stuff, yeah, they do it. They pull the trigger.
Yep.
So let me ask this, just a scenario. Person's going, ready to buy a house. House is listed at 375, 370, somewhere around there. What would you recommend if they're your client? Do they come in at the whole 375?
Uh-oh.
Did we lose him?
Frozen.
Uh-oh. Benji froze up, man, like he would at the altar.
Not at the altar.
Like he would at the altar. Yeah, I think the scenario he was about to ask was going to be amazing. I don't even know what he was about to ask, so I can't pretend to say
It's
that.
not like where he was going with is, do we recommend going in at full asking price? I'm going to always say yeah. I don't, and that's just my personality. I don't play around with it. Like if this is what you want, and you're sure that this is what you want, then why would you short yourself by trying to offer less? You know what I'm saying, to the seller? Because if you're offering them what they're asking for, then your probability of getting the property is a lot higher, right?
I think we had a blackout there for a second. Or was that just on my
No,
end?
you had a blackout.
You had a blackout.
All I know is, I ain't gonna even lie to you. All I know is my whole screen went blank for some reason. I have no idea.
It was just you.
It was just me. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. My bad. I missed the whole response. My bad.
Yeah, I told him you froze like you was at the altar.
I mean, dang. You know what? I wasn't freeze. I ain't froze at the altar, man. I didn't get cold feet, man. You know, maybe.
Well, hey, that was kind of what you were mentioning about the, you know, when we was talking about the, you know, the process with somebody getting that close and getting cold feet. That's what I was thinking. Not too many people get all the way to the altar and then say, you know what, I ain't finna do this. Once you at that altar, it's kind of like, man, you look around at them people, you might want to burn out, but you ain't gonna you ain't gonna burn up out of that, man. You gonna go ahead and do that.
Like, man, how can I make this work? How can I make this work?
How can I make this work? Right. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what happened. So you proceed as you were.
Facts. Okay, so as we're getting ready to close out, I like to ask this question too. What's your ultimate goal with the real estate? Like, do you just want to stay where you're at? Is you in that pocket? Or do you have a bigger and better goal in which you're building toward? Brittney?
Always. The answer is always. Always building for more and bigger. Okay. Not necessarily always more money, but I like, I would say my niche in real estate is definitely comes from just my background before real estate, which is just helping people. So I hope to develop a mentorship program that is unique, that actually will target the younger population. Being an admin for a little over a year with another brokerage really showed me how many young, and I mean young, like 19, 20, 21, straight out of high school, 18-year-olds, have an interest in real estate, but they don't really have there's no guidance. There's no connecting piece there. There's high school, it finishes, they graduate, they might even, have a school district that'll pay for their classes, but then there's a disconnect between that and actually learning how to become a realtor. So somewhere in there, there's got to be someone that's got to fill the gap. So that, that's part of the goal. Like I said, I'll have my broker's license. You'll be calling me Broker Britt, not broke as in broke money, but Broker Britt as in real estate broker Britt.
Britt the broker.
Very soon. Britt the broker, very soon. And I plan to, utilize that to its full extent.
Right. Awesome.
Okay. It's dope. It's dope. B, talk to the people, man. Let us know.
Man, my end game is generational wealth. You know, I have 3 daughters. You know, when I leave this earth, man, I don't want them to have to worry about finances at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm building up a portfolio so that I can pass it on to them. Because like I said earlier, man, I mean, real estate is going to be around forever, you know?
Right.
So we don't have to worry about that at all. Short-term goal, man, I'm trying to I'm trying to be a digital nomad myself, brother. I'm trying to, you know, close deals from Honolulu or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I just don't want to be tied down. I want to be able to enjoy life, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I believe that financial freedom is my path to being able to really enjoy and get the most out of life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm trying to be rich or anything like that. Just financial freedom. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to worry about, you know, anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hope one day I'm gonna be on I'll be on vacation every day. That's the plan.
There you
That's
go.
the plan. I'll be on vacation every day. I'll be able to open up a laptop and kind of oversee and make sure everything's working well. But yeah, be on vacation every day. I feel you, B.
Yeah.
Yeah, slaving and working every day is getting kind of played out.
No, I know. Yeah, I don't like
Hey,
this.
you wanna
Let me go
build
back
up
home
your
real quick.
portfolio and do some other things for sure.
Let me go back home to my mom's house or something. I don't know, but
Right.
Yeah, you want to get to that point. Definitely, like I always point out that Warren Buffett said in his book that you want to get to that point where you have that money where when you're sleeping, when you're walking around every day, when you're in the grocery store shopping, when you're in the mall shopping, your money's growing and you're not even having to do anything to work toward it. It's just you just have it in a pattern now where it's just you're constantly gaining wealth. And that's a hard thing to do, to accomplish, but once you develop it and you work your plan, it's a beautiful thing to see, those people who have been able to do that. So it can be done, and it isn't just about the skin tone. You know what I'm saying? There are plenty of examples of all races and all walks of life that have been able to attain that. So you know what I'm saying? It's doable. We just got to put in the work to make it happen.
it is.
No doubt.
So before we get up out of here, we'd like to give you an opportunity to give your closing remarks, anything inspirational or motivational that you want to leave the audience with, and also tell them where to find you on social media and how to contact you. So we'll start with Miss Brittnee.
All right. So social media, Instagram, realtor.Britt_. Follow my team page, 111 Property, just at 111 Property. We're 111 Property Group. Facebook, 111 Property Group, same thing. Some words of wisdom. That's what else we're doing?
Anything motivational, inspirational, whatever you want to tell the people.
What'd you say? Oh, you know what? I forgot about the book I dropped. I dropped the ebook. It's called Credit Confidence. So for those that need to work on their credit, it's called Credit Confident. Welcome to the 700 Club. Creditconfident.net is where you can find that too. But words of the wise, words of wisdom. You know what? Simple. Keep going. Hurdles, barriers, chains, whatever it is, peaks and valleys, keep going. If it's a dream, if it's a goal, if it's a vision, if it's a gift, God gave you, keep going. No matter how long it takes you, keep going. Just, you may have to pause for a second. You may have to take a couple of, U-turns and some turnarounds, some roundabouts, but keep going. Don't ever give up on what it is that you are here to do, that you want to do. Don't give up. Keep going.
Benji, we got to put that on the shirt. Keep going. Just simple. Keep
going.
Simple. Yeah. See, we be making shirts. We be coming up with these shirt ideas. So.
Yeah, we're going with shirt ideas. Trust me.
I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna say --Realtor Britt. I said it.
I'm telling you. Hook her up with Brandon, Ken, and get it together. Hook it up.
Keep going.
Facts. Yeah, that's dope. Y'all keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Facts. IB, talk to the people.
Yeah, man, you can hit me up. I'm on IG at B_the_real estate_G. On TikTok, I'm just Be the Real Estate G. Facebook, I'm just Brandon Stewart. You can hit me on any of those platforms. Hell, you can even call me or text me 469-571-5790. Look, looking to buy or sell in the DFW, I got you. Me and Britt, we'll take care of you for real.
We got you covered.
Yeah. Man, as far as inspirational quote, or something inspirational, man, live life, man. Like don't get so bogged down in the day-to-day that you forget to live, you know. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. You know, you only have one life to live, so enjoy it. Take some time out, man.
Facts.
I dig that.
Benji Banks, talk to the people before we get up out of here, man, and don't talk about no studs.
Well, no stories tonight. I'm ready to dip, you know what I'm saying? But appreciate for one, Britt and B, thank y'all for coming on the show tonight. Dope, super dope.
Facts.
But man, you know what? Honestly, man, I'm gonna say, and my shirt kind of speaks to it. Trust the reroutes. I kind of wore this shirt tonight, specifically understanding that sometimes life is going to take you in a different direction. If you've been walking this life, living any time on this earth, you know, nothing is scripted. We may think we have control over it. We really don't. We try our best to control it, but we don't. But ultimately, man, trust in those new routes that God is taking you on. If you ever get in your GPS and an accident is on the freeway, sometimes the GPS will take you in a different direction to get you there. And you know what's crazy? Sometimes you'll get there faster if you take a different route than what everybody else is taking. So that's my message for tonight, man. Trust in that new direction that's in your life, in your space right now. It's taking you somewhere that's beautiful. So stay the course and take care of your business. But along the way, you know what I'm saying? You know, have a little bit of fun. You know what I'm saying? You know, go to the beach.
Preaching there, man. You was preaching, man.
Yes, sir.
GPS and reroute.
Go hang out. Go put your feet in the sand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or something. You know, take your blanket.
Read my Bible before I go to sleep tonight, man. You just said something, bro.
I'm just saying, man. Go live it, man. Because man, I found out something very interesting, man. Like, listen, we don't know the day nor the hour, man. So go live life, man. Go have some fun.
Thanks. Well, I'm gonna sum it up like this: you gotta trust the reroutes, and you gotta keep going so you can live the life that you want to live. Like B said, see, I summed everybody else's stuff up, and that's what I do. And I'm gonna leave you with this: y'all wild out there, and I've been seeing a bunch of wild stuff. So let me tell you like this: in today's time, you know what I'm saying, we used to have this saying back in the day called "speed on before you get peed on." Well, y'all like being peed on nowadays, so just make sure you get permission before you do that, okay? Make sure you get permission.
Wait.
Britt, where'd you say? Where did this go wrong? Where did we go left?
On before you get peed on?
Yeah. That's a Southern thing. It's a Southern thing. Back in the day, the old folks used to say that means get on away from me. But you know, speed on before you get peed on.
Ain't trying to get no R. Kelly treatment. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but this is the crazy thing.
Left real quick.
That's the crazy thing.
That's the quote of the night. Speed on before you get peed on.
See?
Okay. All right.
No, but that's what we kind of do, man. We like to have fun. You know, we put the medicine in the candy. We want to give you some entertainment, but we also want to educate you. And that's what the aim is for the FIYAH session. And that's what we love to do. And we love to get back to the people. And so we appreciate you all chiming in the comments, asking questions, and acting up at the beginning of the show, especially. Shout out to our boy, Jody Skywalker, who always tunes in. He always rocking with us.
Listen, Jody, you're going to get me in trouble. Okay? Listen, I got a whole man over here. You gonna get me in trouble.
He ain't said nothing the rest of the show, so he kept himself in line.
For not acting up no more. No,
we gonna say this is only for entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only.
All right, y'all. So we're going to get up out of here. Y'all already know y'all can catch me at Big Ken's Comedy on IG, Big Ken's Comedy on Twitter, Big Ken's Comedy on Facebook. Y'all can catch the FIYAH session on all social media platforms. Just type in FIYAH session. We'll pop right up. go to the YouTube page, hit like and subscribe, hit that little bell so you can know when we have new content, when we have shorts, when we have live episodes. You can jump in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Y'all know y'all can hit us up on the inbox with questions, with episodes, with topics, with guests that you want to see on the show. Some of them are far out, but we are trying to get people that you are requesting. Some of them are celebrity status, and it's hard to get those people, and you have to go through 14 million hoops to get them. But you know what? We got some people lined up that you're going to be surprised about. So make sure you stay tuned, y'all.
Stay tuned.
We appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. We gave y'all some great information. Y'all holler at these two people. And link in with them, because you know what? You need to get that house. You need to get out of your mama house. You need to get off from under your parents. You need to stop borrowing from your auntie and living in her basement. You need to get your own place, and these two people can help you out. So holler at them and make sure that you get that new home. All right, y'all. Y'all
go get that investment property. You can get it for like $75,000. You can get that loan working at McDonald's.
Hey, Benji can help you as well, y'all. Y'all know he got a wealth of knowledge. So we appreciate our guest again, Britt B. We appreciate y'all. Y'all are friends of the show for life. We appreciate y'all for spending time with us and giving us this information. But y'all already know what we do. It's the Fire Session. Peace.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. Please follow us on all social media platforms. Just search Fire Session.